Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss the solution of the problem longest common substring. So let us look at the problem statement. The problem statement says you are given two strings str1 and str2. Your task is to find the length of the longest common substring among the given string. So for instance, these are the two strings which are given to us. The longest common substring is CDGH. The length of this common substring is 4 and that is what we are returning over here. So that's about the problem statement, folks. Now let us discuss the solution of this problem. So in order to discuss the solution of this problem, let us take an example. So let us say these are the two strings which is given to us, and we want to find out the length of the longest substring. To do so, what we are going to do is we are going to take a pointer I, and it will point to some element in the string. Similarly, we are going to take some pointer j which points to some element in the string str2. And once we have these I and j pointer, we are going to check if str1i equals to str2j. If these two elements are equal, then length of the substring is equals to 1 plus. Now since the ith and jth character matches, now we need to find out the longest common substring between str1 from 0 to I minus 1 and str2 0 to j minus 1. So let me explain this a bit more. So let us say this was my str1 and it contains some string. Similarly, this is my str2 and this contains some string. Now let us say this is the ith position and this is the jth position. At this position, the value matches. So let us say the value at this position is x and this position is also x. So what we are trying to find out over here is we want to find out the longest common substring between str1 from 0 to I and str2 from 0 to j. This is what we wanted to find out, and it turns out that the ith and jth character matches. Now since the ith and jth character matches, because of which the longest common substring will be at least 1 since the character matches, and then the solution of longest common substring of str1 0 to I minus 1 and str2 0 to j minus 1. And folks, that's the whole idea behind solving this problem. So let us formalize this. What we are going to do is, before solving a bigger subproblem, we are going to assume we have already solved all its smaller subproblem. So what do I mean by this is, we wanted to solve this bigger problem. So let us say this is my bigger problem wherein I wanted to find out the LCS between str1 0 to I, comma str2 0 to j. So this is my bigger subproblem and we wanted to solve for this subproblem. Now in order to solve this subproblem, as you can see over here, we require this as well. This is a smaller subproblem. So this formalization, what it really talks about is, before solving this bigger subproblem, which is str1 0 to I and str2 0 to j, we will assume that we have already solved these smaller subproblem and we are going to solve these smaller subproblems. Now let us discuss how we are going to solve all these smaller subproblems and then we are going to solve a bigger problem. So let us discuss it through an example. So again, let us take the same example where str1 is ABCDGH and str2 is CDGH and R. So in order to solve this, we will need a DP table of size m by n, where m equals to len of string 1 and n equals to len of string 2. So let us create a DP table of size m by n. So let us say this is our DP problem, and we are going to start solving all smaller subproblems before solving a bigger subproblem. So let us start with the smallest subproblem, which is 0, 0, which simply means we want to find out the longest common substring between str1 0 to 0 and str2 0 to 0. So let us solve for this. So this is that entry which we are solving for. Over here, as we can see, the character matches, because of which we are going to mark it as 1, since one character matches over here, and since we don't have any smaller subproblem than this, because of which we are going to mark it as 1. Now the next subproblem which we are going to solve is 0, 1, and this simply means we want to solve for LCS of string 1 0 to 0 and string 2 0 to 1. So let us solve for this. As you can see, the last character does not matches. So over here we are solving for the case where string 1 is just A and string 2 is AB. As you can see, the last character does not matches, because of which we are going to mark it as 0. If it doesn't matches, if the last character doesn't matches, then that simply means we will not be able to find any substring, because of which we are going to mark it as 0. Now let's solve for the other subproblem. So the other subproblem is where my string 1 is just A and string 2 is A, B and C. Again, it doesn't matches, because of which we are going to mark it as 0. And similarly, all these subproblems, there isn't any longest common substring, because of which we are going to mark it as 0. Now let us move to the next row. So when we move to the next row, our subproblem translates to where string 1 is equals to AC and string 2 will be equals to, initially it will be equals to A, then it will become AB, then it will become ABC, and so on. So let us solve for this subproblem. Again, in the first case, we can see that the last character does not matches, this and this. Since it does not matches, we are going to mark it as 0. Similarly, for the second problem also, it does not matches, so 0. In the third case, where string 1 is equals to AC and string 2 is equals to ABC, as we can see, the last character matches over here. So the longest common substring will be equals to 1, and then we want to find out the LCS of string A, AB, and this is equals to 1. And please note, LCS of A, AB is already solved. As you can see over here, LCS of A, AB. So A and this is AB. So the LCS of A, AB is this, and this is already solved, and the value over there is 0, because of which this will be 1. So this value will be equals to 1. Now let's move forward. As we can see, the last character does not matches in any case, because of which all these values will be equals to 0. Again, let us move forward. So now we are trying to solve for subproblem where my string 1 is equals to ACD and my string 2 will initially be A, then AB, then ABC, then ABC and D, and so on. So let us solve for this. So for the cases where the last character does not matches, we are just going to mark it as 0. So these values will be equals to 0. As we can see, when we are trying to solve for ACD and ABCD, the last character matches. So let me write down over here. My string 1 is equals to ACD and my string 2 is equals to AB, C and D. Now since the last character matches over here, so the LCS will be equals to 1 plus LCS of AC, AB and C. This is 1, and let us find out the value for LCS of AC, ABC. So it turns out we have already solved it. So this is AC and this is ABC, and the value which we are interested in is this value, and this value is 1, because of which the LCS over here, or the longest common substring, will be 2. So let us mark it as 2, and then for the remaining characters it will be 0. Moving forward, all these values will be equals to 0, and when we come to this position, when we are trying to solve for ACDG and ABCDG, for this subproblem, we realize that the last character matches. Now since the last character matches, because of which the LCS will be equals to 1 plus the smaller subproblem, and the value of the smaller subproblem is over here. So this value will be equals to 3 and this will be equals to 0. Moving forward, all these values will be equals to 0, and this value, as you can see, the last character matches, so this will be equals to 1 plus whatever is there in this cell. So this will be equals to 1 plus 3, which is equals to 4. And for the last one, since the last character does not matches, because of which we are going to mark it as all zeros. And once we have populated our DP table, all we have to do is find out the maximum value in this DP table. And the maximum value is 4. And this is what we are going to return as our answer. So that's the discussion of solution, folks. Now let us discuss the pseudocode of this problem. So let us say we wanted to find out the longest common substring, and string 1 and string 2 are given to us. So to solve this, we will need a DP table, and the size of this DP table will be equals to m by n, where m equals to len of string 2 and n equals to len of string 1. Once we have this, then we are going to iterate on I for I in range of n and for j in range of m. So we are iterating on the DP table. So the first thing which we are going to do is we are going to set the value of DP table I comma j equals to 0. And then we are going to check if str1 I equals to str2 j. If they are equal, then we realize that this can form a longest common substring, and the length of that longest common substring will at least be equals to 1. So that is why we are going to mark it as 1. DP of I comma j, we are going to mark it as 1. The next thing which we are going to check is if I minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0 and j minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. And the reason we are doing this is because, so let me go up in order to explain this. So let us refer to this entry. In order to get this value equals to 4, we have this value as 1, which is what we have set it initially, dp of I comma j equals to 1. And then we want to find out this entry. Now in order to ensure that we are not exceeding the boundaries of DP table, we are just going to put these conditions where I minus 1 and j minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. Then we are going to increase the value of dp of I comma j by the dp of I minus 1 comma j minus 1. And then towards the end, we will also go ahead and find our answer, which is the maximum value between answer and the current value of I comma j. And then towards the end, we are going to return our answer. So that's the entire pseudocode, folks. Now let us see how we have implemented this in Python and C++. So first, let us look at the Python implementation. So again, we have a DP table of size m by n, and then an answer equals to 0. And then we are iterating on the DP table. The first thing which we are doing is we are initializing the DP table I comma jth entry by 0. And then we are checking whether ith and jth character of string 1 and 2 matches. If they are matches, then the least common substring is 1, which is what we are initializing it with. And then we are adding that value with dp of I minus 1 comma j minus 1. And then we are computing our answer, which is equals to max between answer and the current entry of DP table. And towards the end, we are returning answer. So that's the Python code, folks. Now let us submit our solution. So our Python solution got accepted. Now let us look at our C++ solution. So the C++ solution is also the same, folks. Again, we have a DP table, and an answer with us. Then we are iterating on the entries of DP table. If the ith character of string 1 and jth character of string 2 matches, then the least common substring is 1, which is what we are initializing it. And then we are incrementing dp of I, j by dp of I minus 1, j minus 1. Towards the end, we are computing the maximum value in the DP table and returning it. So that's the C++ implementation, folks. Now let us submit our solution. So the C++ solution also got accepted. That is all from this video, folks. In case if you have any question or comment regarding this video, please feel free to use the comment section and I'll try to address them. Thank you.